Hello guys, welcome to the George Groves Boxing Club podcast. This is on the YouTube channel, so tune in, subscribe as always, and thank you to our sponsors, Coin Poker. I am here nice and early for the ceremonial weigh-in, Fatal Fury, Eubank v Benn. Am I excited for this weigh-in? Not really, because I already know what the guys weigh. They done what now the UFC have been doing for a while now, what sort of Riyadh season the Saudis have introduced, where you have your official weigh-in in the day, something that I was campaigning for, believe it or not, way back in the day, and then you do a ceremonial weigh-in after, when it's later on in the day, everyone's got their phones, everyone's finished work, everyone wants to see how each fighter is shaped up, and guess what? You'll be a little bit more hydrated, a little bit more fueled, the muscles will be popping out a little bit more, and you're happy to smile and do the interviews and crack on and get the job done like you should do at a weigh-in. But something's telling me now, after hearing these weights, that we might not have happy campers here this evening. First weight I got, which feels like ages ago now, which was Conor Benn's weight, which he came in at 156.4 pounds. So he's, not quite 2 kilos, but not far off, 2 kilos light for his championship fight tonight. I can't get my head around that. I thought he would be, even if he had to get on the scale with a bottle of water down the seconds before he got on, he would get on there on the mark. He wouldn't come in nearly 2 kilos light, nearly 4 pounds light, because you're just telling everyone that you've done no cut to make this weight and that you are not big enough. You're not big enough. You envision that Eubank's going to have to cut a load of weight. She's going to be giving away at least a stone in natural weight tomorrow night. That's a lot. That is a lot. That is so much weight. At this size, at middleweight, to give away a stone, that is essentially, if both guys are on form, the smaller guy cannot win. But here's the spanner in the works. Eubank fails the weight, and he fails it by the most pathetic of margins. Like it's 0.05 of a pound, which I think is like 30 ounces. I don't know what 30 ounces is. I'm not doing any drug references. Leave that be. But it is nothing. It is nothing to fail the weight. He's made a massive, massive error, and he's tried to get that weight off. He weighed in like 0.2 of a pound over, and he's obviously tried to get it off because he doesn't want to pay the fine, but he couldn't get it off. And oh my God, $500,000 for 30 ounces. Like, people need to write into me, send me messages, the equivalent of 30 ounces. Like, how much of a water bottle is that, of a Coke bottle? What can you buy? Like, a key ring. I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that's small. Don't do it. Right. Oh, he's got to be spitting feathers. And I bet he wished those feathers weighed 30 ounces because he would have made the weight. Oh my God. So the guys, when they come here, they do ceremonial weigh-ins. Eubank has been on point, right up until today, where he's failed the weight, which is unprofessional. I'm going to start quoting his dad now. His dad's called him unprofessional. It's unprofessional to fail the weight, even if it is by the thinnest of margins. Has anyone ever failed a weight by as little as what he's done and been fined so much? Eubank just loves paying off fines now. I mean, the 100 grand egg in the face, it's a mere yoke. Like, he's going to end up with nothing left. I would be so gutted, because if he'd showed up and he weighed 5 pound overweight and he's just gone, fuck Ben, fuck everything, I'll do what I fucking like, and I'm going to pay the hefty fine for it, then so be it. But he's tried to make the weight and failed. He's had an absolute nightmare. I am really looking forward to seeing these guys here tonight. See if Eubank can then switch it back on, get back in shape, get back on point, and see if he's doing okay. Because he wants to share everything. He shared him cutting weight. I don't know if he'll get investigated by the board for that sort of stuff, because when you train his course, they tell you you're not allowed to use sauna suits, you're not allowed to sweat, which obviously is the truth. We all do that, everyone does that, so that's a bizarre thing to do, but they almost don't want you to share it. Eubank shared it, and he looks lean, he looks tight, he looks taut, like his shoulders look like they, if he tried to stretch right now, everything would snap. Is he a guy who just doesn't know how to make weight properly? I mean, and that sounds bizarre because he's absolutely shredded, sure, but you need to make the weight, and you need to feel good doing it. And I think maybe for so long of his career, throughout his life, he never had to do it, and then it came maybe in his 30s, where he had to learn how to make weight, and the body just can't do it. The body can't do it. You see him laying on the floor with towels and a sweatsuit. Like, mate, at that point, was that the right thing to do? There are other options out there. If you ever need some help, Mr. Eubank, you give me a call. I'll tell you how to make weight. I never failed a weight once. It's on. Right, this is part 1. We'll come back in part 2 after the guys have weighed in.
Part 2 of Fatal Fury, right? So we've seen the guys now. They've both come in. They've both weighed in. How did they look? I want to see what Eubank looked like. Does he look good? Does he look stressed? Does he look dead? They had to walk down this little staircase, come down. Is he going to fall down the stairs? He didn't. He managed to make it to the bottom. Conor Benn, he came out first. He came out to Rocky. Now, is he trying to live this sort of Rocky dream? Because like, if he is a fighter through and through, I've lived the Rocky dream. You're 7 years old, dreaming about, ring walking like Rocky, maybe taking a bit of stick and then coming back and having a Rocky contest of yourself. He didn't get booed, Conor Benn, which I think is great. I don't want anyone to get booed, right? But my main concern for Conor Benn now, when I think about it, is for the fighter he is, the guy he is, and he hasn't yet to experience, I believe, in his career. If he ring walks tomorrow for 60 plus thousand people, and there is boos ringing out across the stadium, which I do not want to have. I do not want to see that. Don't come to the boxing and boo someone, but that may be the case. How is that going to affect him? Because his dad was the people's champion. And it was Eubank who was always the villain. Eubank Sr. was the villain. He was the bad guy. And Eubank Jr. has been the bad guy before in the past. But he's stoic. He's embraced it. He's gone with it. And today, like this, what do we call it again? It's the ceremonial weigh-in. We're having ceremonies now within boxing. He comes and same old Eubank. He says the right things. He puts on the front, the bravado. He's stoic. He does his thing. He does look a little bit fragile. I reckon he's a little bit tired. I reckon that weight cut was tough for him, really tough for him. And the fact that he failed it, he must be livid with himself. But he can quickly try and put that to bed. First chance you get to do that is when you come face to face with the guy you're fighting. If you come out with that next engagement and come back on top, then you're good to go. I remember once upon a time, I was in there with this guy called Frost, and I just couldn't miss every time, just tying him in knots, ruining him. And then we did this thing called the gloves are off. And I was a bit tired that day, whether I was not on my A game or not. He came prepared. He had a sports psychologist who got him through it, got him built up, got him to anticipate what I was going to say rather than me anticipating what he was going to say. And as we stand up to finish the session, Johnny Nelson asked if we can have a handshake. I put my hand in the pocket. I try and give him a little bit of a tug, and then we all have a bit of a push and a pull when he yanked me across the table. I remember leaving that going, right, that's the first one I've lost. And it's similar to maybe Eubank this morning, thinking that's the first one I lost. Went and saw Froch the next day. We did another something or other together. Back to winning ways, put him back in his place. And Eubank tonight, maybe not exactly that, but Conor Benn was revved. Conor Benn was up for it. He's got a bit of a crowd here. He's trying to get in the zone already. And that always reminds me of Ricky Hatton fighting Floyd Mayweather, and he was so pumped the day before the fight. And do you really want to be burning up the energy, thinking, obsessing about the fight, living the fight now, over 24 hours before the fight? You don't. You want to be like Eubank. Eubank, who comes, does his business, does his thing. I think they've been whisked off now to Piccadilly to go play some video games together. The show must go on. So far, so good. Have I changed my mind on who's going to win? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see what they weigh tomorrow. Tomorrow there is a £10 weight check. Is Eubank just going to go, fuck it, I'm just going to weigh what I want? Because he is 100% heavier than the £10 he weighed earlier, where he is now. He's 100% more than 170 pounds. He's more likely maybe 172, 173. He's going to want to eat again tonight, weigh again in the morning. He might even have to train tomorrow morning, or he might just go, I'm paying one fine, in for a penny, in for a pound. I'll pay for this undercard, I'll pay for that undercard. I'll pay this fine for an egg. He might try and, I don't know, accumulate some more money that he can spend. Maybe he might want to invest in his podcast. I don't know. That might be a bad idea. What do you reckon, Paddy? So, yeah, we'll leave it there. I'm running out of gas. They're wrapping up around me. One more sleep.